We have the blue elven player, Sauron, versus the red goblin player, Ahwehawe. And Patriot with the primers for 5 months.
Patriot_KP just resubscribed for 5 months. Ahoy. Grand finals already. I've been gone too long.
Thank you very much for the huge support, my friend. Thank you, thank you. Will there be channel point bets? Hopefully when Balindru is around, but if he doesn't come for game number 2, I can open them, no problemo. I got you. Thank you very much, Patriot, and glad to see you back in the business, my friend. 2 tunnels coming up for goblins and 2 Malone trees coming up for elves. Look, they are talking about, about the format. The thing is, in BFME 2, revealing abilities like Farsight, for example, right, or the Tinted Land, the cave beds, these are very important for the kids. Thank you for 100 BD bomb, big boy PP, appreciate it. Thank you very much, good sir.
For the kids.
Thank you, thank you. And look at that, we have like 4 tunnel opening, economical opening for the goblin player. On the other side, we see 3 Malone trees into the barracks. And you can see eventually yourself at the beginning of the game the main differential between this game and Rise of the Witch King. The placement of the farms is just way closer to the fortress to keep them protected a bit easier and better. Because the buildings are literally made of paper. So if you look at them, if you touch them one single time, they will go down in a single second. And for that reason, that's very important. And Too Fun is in the chat for 6 months, my man. Too Fun, thank you very much for the huge support for half a year already, brother. Thank you, thank you.
2Funs1907 just resubscribed for 6 months. Ahoy. Holy moly.
Holy moly. Holy guacamole. So we have a spider pit into the goblin cave number 1. We might see eventually multiple goblin caves later on. But for now, 1 goblin cave will do the job. In the meantime, we have Lorian archers and 10 gifted subs from 2Fun once again, dude. Thank you, my man. Thank you. Really means a lot.
2Funs1907 just gifted 10 subs. What a pirate.
Thank you very much. And Tony Maroni in the chat. Tony, schön, dass du hier bist. Glad to see you around. Welcome to the finals of the BFME 2 1v1 Championship Tournament. And Big Boy with the another 100 BD bomb. More for the kids. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
More for the kids.
Thank you, thank you. So archers in this game are just, basically much more impactful at the beginning of the game and also later stages than in Rise of the Witch King, because here you have the chance to creep a complete layer by yourself. You don't need assistance from a swordman or from a pikeman. You can do that with 1 archer exclusively, as they deal great amount of damage to the layers too. In Gollum is here, and Gollum is a very tricky creature in this game, because this dude has like 12,000 HP, guys. 12,000 HP when a fortress has literally 7,500 HP. So it's quite tanky, you know what I'm saying? Big Boy with another 100 BD bomb, and we have a hype train level 4 going on. Thank you guys so much for the support. I don't know what to say. Thank you.
Last one for the kids, haha.
Thank you very much. Now, what is this called? What they put underneath and when the baby is born? Every time I'm gonna buy one of them for my child, for my son, I will think about that. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. So goblins are coming from the bottom. And in the meantime, we have the second goblin cave up on the field. But so far, there is not enough harassment going on. So people are a little, more like map control focus, expanding a little bit more and harassing a little bit less.
From Midland.
And we have like the Revandal Lancer Battalion. You can see in this faction, in this game, this stable doesn't contain the level 2 Linden Horse Archer units. So you have obviously way less units available in this game. That's not the expansion. Patriot with 300 BD bomb. Appreciate it. I shouldn't join the party. Thank you very much.
I should join the party.
I should join the party. Okay. Thank you very much, Patriot. Appreciate it. The Malone tree has been taken down. And look at that. The Malone tree has only 1040 HP. And even a production building. Look at the spiderlings going, guys. They are going crazy. They are able to demolish the building in like 3 seconds. That's why the punishment is so much greater in this game. You can literally take down buildings in like 2 milliseconds, 350 command points only for the Elven player, and the goblins are up to 550. Which is pretty good, right? And the Barrow expansion here works a bit differently. It doesn't give you any command points like in Rise of the Witch King. But again, I don't want to get started with the differences between this game and Rise of the Witch King, because the differences are just too many, too many. Okay, so the tunnel is going to be taken down, the offensive tunnel. We have 2 Lancer, but remember he can't recruit anymore anytime soon because he lost the stable. He has only double barracks and also no Mirkwoods. I mean, no Mirkwoods, not true. The Noldor warriors are not existing in this faction. And what I like about this game a little bit more than in Rise of the Witch King, first of all, the graphics. I think the graphics in this game are looking much more modern, much more detailed and high definition. They look pretty good. And also the animations are looking awesome, you know, when you recruit a certain hero from your fortress or when they have a special ability from your spellbook or from the heroes, they look gorgeous. But also what I like about this game is it includes more hero play, right? Basically, almost every single faction will go for heroes. Like, I have not casted as many BFME 2 games as I did for Rise of the Witch King, but let me tell you that much. I think I have seen Legolas 10,000 times more, you know, in this game than in Rise of the Witch King. Almost every second game we see from the Elven faction, you would see a Legolas. There comes the first counter push with lots of Lancers. Look at this beautiful design of them, you know. They look pretty beautiful to me. You have 1 archer, 2 pikemen to keep them protected. The tunnel has the weakest resource building in the game with only 1000 HP. Legolas 6 in BFME 2, yes sir. Well, it costs 2000 in BFME 2, of course. But not only that, you know what I'm saying. Like, you can't, not like, how can I say, even Gandalf you see much more often from the Man of the West faction. But look at the damage, dude, that's crazy. I think the main difference here is, as you get punished, and as you lose your buildings way faster, you also collect the money way faster. Which makes it kinda, like, I believe you can see it in both ways, you know. In any case, you can always come back, right? Because one single push can be so punishing. Like, you think you are winning, and then he comes with an army, and he kills literally every single building of yours, you know? It might happen. Tufan with the 200 Billy Bomb. Tufan, thank you very much, appreciate that. Thank you, brother. Means a lot. 10 gifted resub, and 10 gifted subs, plus 200 bits now, thank you very much. Okay, he lost all the production buildings, no more units anytime soon. He has a stable now, but I believe, you know, this army has to do some stuff. The positioning is great though, I like that. So he is fighting around the production buildings. There is a tower around the fortress, however, which keeps the Elven player a little bit away from this area. And this basement floor on the ground will give you kinda like information about the range of the fortress. So everything inside this tainted land, inside this gray or black area, will be protected by the fortress. So you shouldn't tank this for a long time, you will lose eventually your army. Ooh, this might be a commitment for a game-winning move. This might be a commitment for the game-winning move, guys. Because the pikemen here, they are having crazy amount of DPS, especially against production buildings. Look at that, please. Like, did you ever see something like this? That's some damage, you know what I'm saying? That's some damage, boys. Maybe they have the chance to even commit against the fortress, but it looks like he doesn't want to risk it. He want to make sure to destroy the production buildings first. Go slow, go safe, or go home. In the meantime, look at the minimap. Ahwehawe was able to expand very nicely at the bottom side. Westfold is definitely a great map for the Goblin faction, because you have so many expansion points, so you can expand in multiple different ways, you know. 500 command points for elves and 700 command points for goblins. Again, the one thing I've learned about casting BFME 2 games is be open for surprises, because it might look in favor of heavily in favor of a player, but then the game can literally turn around in like 2 seconds, you know. I've seen everything, so I don't want to say it's over or it's clearly in the favor of this player, because everything is still possible. Because look at that, during all this time, every single tunnel which Sauron is able to find is gonna be taken down, as they are made of paper. They have only 1000 HP, which is definitely not enough. Oh, Haldir on the field, beautiful trample. And also heroes are leveling up way faster to a certain point. In Tufan with another 500 BD bomb. Thank you very much, Tufan, appreciate that. 700 bits in total, man. Thank you, thank you. Zero High, welcome. Yunus, welcome. Hoş geldin, sefalar getirdin. Okay. Kill barracks and run. We have a lot of fanboys in the chat. Like people, like that's the one thing I can't really understand. Like I can understand that when you, oh, hold on a second, the giant eagle specials. I mean, look at their colors, guys. They look pretty nice to me. Frozen Hunter, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. Hi. The eagles are coming as Peregrine took foot like this. The tunnel is going to be taken down. And Tufan gifting us up to shield them. Thank you, Tufan. I like the design of the eagles, so they look pretty sexy to me.
Funds 1907 gifted Shield 3R _ a subscription. What a monster. 2 Funds 1907 gifted a tier 1 sub to Shield 3R _. They have given 203 gift subs in the channel.
203 gift subs to the channel. 203 gift subs to the channel. Dude, that's a lot of gift subs. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. So you like black? Dude, once you go black, you never go back. But the thing is, what I don't like is, I think every unit in every hero should have like a house color. So basically, as you can see, this is like a blue color picked player. So I think you should be able to see blue color in every single unit, monster, special summon he has also under his control. Because in a more player game, or when you play like an Alvin Mirror match and you summon the eagles, then it's hard to recognize from the colors all alone who's, you know, having the control of these eagles, if you get me. Like house colors are very important. I did this level 2. With level 4, he will unlock the damage leadership. And to be honest, I think the leadership system from BFME 2 is a bit more reasonable, especially for me, which makes the hero's impact a little bit greater, which is okay because it's a hero-based RTS game, right? It's a Lord of the Rings game. As RTS should have a bit more hero focus, and you having multiple different leadership abilities, which you can stack when they are individually unique, makes it so more heroes make more sense. Because in Rise of the Witch King you can only have one leadership. So Aragorn, a very expensive hero, has the same leadership, like for example Theoden King. You understand me? And here everything is a bit unique. You have damage leadership, damage inspiring, armor leadership. Then you have also high tier leadership for an expensive hero like Aragorn, you know, which makes it much more focused around heroes. And I personally enjoy that more. Okay, here comes the bottom side, and look at that. We have 550 command points, but still over 2000 resources collected for Sauron. He's up to 12 power points in total. It's a very fast-paced game, and every minute counts. And we have 700 command points available for Ahwehawe, but he's a little bit behind in the power points department. He has only 9 power points collected after the Spiders, Warchan and Tainted Land. So, long story short, while Sauron is only 11 power points away from his 25, Sauron Ahwehawe needs still 5 for his 15 and then 25 on top of that for his ultimate summon. So if this game goes a while like that, and it's gonna be even further delayed now because he just picked Scavenger, which means money, but again, it's gonna slow you down. Power points in BFME games, in every single one of them, are essential for the mid to late game, because the one who unlocks the ultimate power point first has a huge advantage, you know? You can do so much work, like a Sunflare here or a Flood can deal a devastating amount of damage. Look, imagine the Flood here, boys. Like you use Flood, you kill every single building here. You kill the Goblin Cave, Spider Pit, Fissure, Tunnel, literally everything in one single shot. And Sauron is getting really close to this point. There's also Glorfindel up on the field. Now you have like 2 heroes side by side. This guy is already level 4, level 2. And with level 8, you have the Starlight, not level 10. Blade of Purity, which makes him, by the way, immune to damage. You get like invulnerable. You can't die for 10 seconds, which is not a long time, but in a deciding moment, 10 seconds can feel like a minute. He just used the Link summon. I didn't see where. Here you summon them. For example, here you can see the red color, right, on the Spiderlings. Basically, they have like the same skin almost. They are a bit bigger than the Spiderlings from this. They have a Tom Bombadillo special summon, a level 5 pikeman. And what I also personally like a lot is that the units in this game are also able to level up all the way to level 10. Unlike in Rise of the Witch King, which normal units can only level up to level 5, you know? Like, I personally am an enjoyer of being able to level up my units to level 10. And like in BFME 1. And oh my goodness, he's gonna just call it, and that's it, boys. I mean, to be honest, I think Ahwehawe was ahead in some points, but he couldn't get the job done, you know? And now, we have the same matchup, but the other way around. And another gifted sub to Vizfreak. Thank you very much.
Leon K. West just gifted 1 subs. What a pirate.
Thank you, thank you. So, on the left side, we have the blue goblin player Sauron against the red elven player Ahwehawe on the right side. I mean, Ahwehawe was looking strong last game, and many of you guys know in the chat, Ahwehawe used to be a goblin one-trick player, right? Like, I mean, goblin faction was his most favorite faction, and he couldn't get it done, you know? He was like leading, he had the chance to destroy every single production building, but then he couldn't finish the job. He couldn't get the job done, and Sauron was able to get a bit more focus and create a momentum, which, you know, kind of unlocked the power points a bit better, and went for the victory. And it's the first game, it's a best of 7, so if you lose one game, it's not the end of the world. And here we go, for the game number 2. Mr. Valen, welcome, glad to see you around. 2 Malone trees into the barracks. On the other side, we see 2 tunnels into the Goblin Cave, into the second Goblin Cave. So you can see, that's already a different opening in compared to the opening Ahwehawe did in the previous game. He was actually going for 4 tunnels and then Spider Pit, but that's not gonna be the plan and not the execution from Sauron. He's going for like traditional Goblin spam opening with, you know, 2 Goblin Caves. And Ahwehawe building up 3 Malone trees, barracks into the Malone tree number 4. Subs everywhere, you love to see it, yes sir. That's crazy, dude. Thank you guys. I mean I can't point it out enough, you know. When I started first my channel on the Twitch and YouTube, I was like, okay, maybe I can find from all around the world, couple of 100 people, you know, and then we will have like great small little family. But now we have like we are like a mafia, dude. We are like really big, you know, almost 20,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel, which is kind of crazy, never expected from my side. Didn't even know that there are so many people actually outside in the world still interested in BFME content, even in 2022. Makes me proud. Thank you guys. Lorien Archer start. Tunnel here. No offensive tunnel yet.
I will represent the men of Gondor.
Louis, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Hope you're gonna enjoy your stay. Okay, so what is the plan? That it's gonna be a squad of goblins. They might even commit on this one. Does he have War Chant? Yes, sir. The War Chant is a bit weaker here. It doesn't give you any armor, which is a essential buff in a combat situation, right? When you have more armor, you have more durability, you can last in those fights a bit longer. The damage is only good when you get the chance to hit something, but you can tank more than you normally would do. The 1 Malone tree has been still taken now. The thing is that, you know, the buildings are just too weak. Unless you wanna kill Goblin, or Gollum I mean, then you need to invest like a lot of time, and you need to have like legit army, you know, that can take this down. He looks small, he looks tiny, but size doesn't matter everything. And look at this macro, he's coming from the top side too. Goblin warriors are just as fast here as they are in Rise of the Witch King. They have the chance to be extremely mobile. In Goblins, they don't even need to count on the tunnel network connection. They can even get stuff done.
I will represent the men of Gondor.
Kaska or Kaksa. Thanks for the follow, appreciate it. Thank you. I watched a YouTube video before I found the Twitch. I think that's the thing, you know, most people are actually very able to find me on my YouTube channel. And because Twitch has like little to zero discoverability, and I think almost everyone in the chat can agree, like the people who are here, most of them are actually, potentially, I mean that's what I'm assuming at least, are coming from YouTube. Almost 3 power points in the bank, 400 command points available for Sauron, and 350 command points for elves, and almost 4 power points collected too. And there might be the first counter attack potential. Lorien warriors and Lorien archers. The thing here is Lorien warriors are so expensive, right? They cost 360 each. They cost even more than Uruks. They are actually very expensive. Goblins are quite cheap. They cost even less than the orcs in Rise of the Witch King. They cost only 75 each. And orcs are even cheaper than that. Your YouTube thumbnails are always great, and thank you very much. I mean, in this case, I need to say thank you to Valindro because he's the one who's making all these thumbnails. Appreciate that. So, in the meantime, the Elven player is creeping with the Lorien archers. There we go. You might also get the chance to capture this in later on. You showed up on the recommended channels on Twitch for me for the first time. Oh, really, Sanibel? Didn't know that. In this case, thank you very much, Twitch. Appreciate it. I mean, the thing is, I could talk with Twitch because thanks to you guys, I'm also getting, I was partnered on Twitch, right? I'm Twitch partner, which I also thought it's gonna be impossible to become Twitch partner by streaming BFME exclusively. And there is like a deal. I could potentially be on the front page, you know, on the front page. When you open twitch.tv, there's like a front page of the recommended channels, and you can apply to be there, you know, if you want to. But for that, you need to be a bit more active streamer. I think there is like a rule that you need to stream at least 3 or 4 days a week. That's like a criteria I can't fulfill right now, but maybe in the future, who knows. Steeple. Rivendell Lancer. And you know what I like about this game also? Look at that. Every level means something. You see, Rivendell Lancer gained 7% speed at level 5. So when you get levels, normally in BFME 1 and Rise of the Witch King, what happens is you get raw stats. So basically, in BFME 1 you get more HP, more armor, more tankiness, and also more damage. But the movement speed is something you can't get from levels. Not in BFME 1 and not in Rise of the Witch King either. And here, some units, that's why it's so beneficial to keep your units protected and alive. Like, keeping your units alive is rewarding like crazy. Like Guardians, for example, from the Dwarven faction, they get like the boost 3 times at level 3, level 5, level 7. So a level 7 Guardian is gonna move way quicker than a level 1 Guardian, you know? And I personally like that. Like, encouraging things to reward the people who are trying to keep their units protected. 550 command points available for elves and 500 command points for goblins, so it's pretty even. We have now a squad of spider riders. I don't know if they can actually perform against the Rivendell Lancers. I mean, there are too many pikemen. You can't really do something against them. Ooh, that's not good for Sauron. He's gonna lose one of them. I believe the cavalry is just not, you know, they are not fast enough. They are kind of sloppy. Like, the movement speed is not that great. Almost 8 power points in the bank. Fissure into the level 2 to get some half-throw pikemen. And also, as you can see, there are no fire drakes, there are no half-throw swordmen, you know. Oh, that's gonna be a great push though. The only thing is, he doesn't have too many units that can deal damage to the buildings. While the archers can creep a layer without help, they can't deal damage to the player buildings, you know. I mean, they can, but it's gonna be a tiny damage, so it's gonna take one archer like 1 hour time to destroy one of the tunnels. But that's a great army. I like this army a lot. Lancer, Swordman, Farsight is gonna be used. Farsight, besides giving you vision control, also gonna increase the range by 35%, which is pretty significant. And there might be a big commitment with Tom Bombadillo in the middle of the army. And this guy is just as strong as in Rise of the Witch King. He will get the chance to hit like a truck. Bombadillo! But he gonna miss the Sonic Song because he's a noob. He's a noob.
Oh, I knew that would happen.
I haven't looked on the Twitch front page since 2017. Yeah, that's the one thing, you know. Me neither. I've never looked into that, to be honest with you. Okay, the tunnel here is gonna be definitely taken down. Looks like the Goblin player doesn't want to comment on this fight, which kind of makes sense. I think you can't win a fight when Tom Bombadillo is involved in it. Bombadillo! He has such a crazy voice line. It looks like the Spider Riders are kind of struggling a little bit, right? I mean, they have also the chance, just like in Rise of the Witch King, to fight with bows, but they don't. 6 power points versus 7 power points. But the thing is, again, the similar situation like in the previous game between Ahwehawe and Sauron. Tom Bombadil is a 10 power point special summon. And also, like, there is lots of lore stuff. Summons Tom Bombadil, a mighty fat old fella with a hat who likes singing. It's told that he is the human personification of Eru, who created air. Like, lots of information. I like that. The only thing what I wish BFME 2 and Rise of the Witch King should be adding are like proper descriptions with like build time, recruit time, and you go with your mouse, like train Lorien warriors. Recruit time 25 seconds, for example. Like, to give the player as many information as you potentially can. It's like lots of work when you do it, but I think it's worth it. Shanks incoming hot tub stream for Twitch front page. Twitch, for whatever reason, keeps recommending me these girls which are leaking microphones. And I don't know what Twitch thinks about me, but I'm not into that stuff, Twitch. Stop it. Like, every time I'm clicking on a stream, I see a girl in bikini leaking a microphone. Chat with 8,500 people, but no one is typing because their hands are busy. You understand? They can't type because their hands, they are doing something else. I'm telling you one thing. My Twitch chat is more active. Their Twitch chat with 8,000 people is less active. Haldir is on the field as the first hero. Map control is looking great for Ahwehawe. 750 command points for goblins and 650 for Ahwehawe. It's pretty even, but I think Ahwehawe's army is a little bit stronger. You have also level 5 Lorian archers upon the field, doing yoga. She does lick these ear microphones pretty good though. True. Well, Shanks, if you keep clicking on them, of course they will recommend more. I mean, there is one famous one. Like the thing is, nowadays, guys, you can agree with me, right? You can relate to me. Nowadays, you become information you don't even want to have, right? You get information from multiple different websites, from the internet, that you don't want to even know, right? But all of a sudden, you know something which you didn't search for. Like, for example, a girl, I don't want to name her, who is now doing this kind of stuff, like the streams with hot tub and then microphone ear licking stuff. She made like over like 15 millions in OnlyFans. That's information I didn't search for, you know. But when you open Google, it's gonna be there. Okay, thank you very much for the information, but why do I need to know that? You know what I'm saying? Okay. So we have a level almost 2 Haldir up on the field, double barracks steeple, level 2, for faster production speed, 10% faster production speed, big commitment, lots of lances. Haldir is leveling up with the archers together from a safe distance. Level 5 means more DPS, and they can keep leveling up, right? They can get all the way to level 10, which means every single time more DPS, more DPS, more DPS, and it's more scary to deal with. But I think now you have an opening. Now you need to kind of play around it, around the pikeman, and go to the backline. If you get a great trample... Oh, hold on a second. I hear the eagles. The eagles are coming. Oh, that's gonna hurt, because the level 2 buildings or level 2 tunnels here are giving you not 75 command points, they actually do give you 100 command points each. So that's gonna be quite painful to lose them. And there is not much that can deal damage to them at this point. I mean, the arrow towers and the fortress a bit, and one goblin archer, but I think it's not gonna be enough. 2 tunnels gone, and the third one is gonna be gone as well. The poison arrows following up a little bit, but not enough damage. And elves have now the chance to even, go for a big push. Oh, but Scavenger has been chosen, as you can see, plus 12. It's from the Scavenger spell, and almost 14 power points on top of that. So almost 15. Level 2 tunnel, oh, that's painful, man. That's really painful. Like, the goblin player was up to 800 command points, and now he's dropping down all the way to 450 command points. Yeah, a lot of informations. I remember some streamer. Hey Beastie, Polako in the chat. Beastie, my friends. Always glad to see you around. It's a superstar. It's like a special event when Beastie is appearing in the chat. Thank you very much, Beastie. How are you doing today? I remember a streamer was casting an RTS game, showed on the streamer Mantis with a parasite that took control of the Mantis. But that was actually kind of crazy, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was showing it to my wife today too, to be honest. My wife was disgusted about it. She didn't believe that, you know? And 16 power points. Now the question is, what is gonna be his choice after the Scavenger, you know? I had a dream about the parasite, bro. I mean, maybe it's in you now, inside you. He went for the worm. Oh, he was using Titaland to get the vision. The worm. can't reposition, but what you can do is when you right click, I think he's gonna do that automatically. Like, you don't need to care about this guy. He's gonna just go and do stuff automatically. Look at that. We'll now be able to destroy this Malone 3 level 2. Again, these level 2 resource buildings, they do give you 100 command points instead of 75. So elves are gonna drop down now to 550 command points. There is a force. If the Goblin player can deal with that, I think he has the chance to go for a big counter push. Rallying Call, Tom Bombardier is almost back up. We are getting closer to the point of the 25 power points eventually, very, very soon. As you can see, the power points are rising to the sky in a few seconds. And the worm, if you can, I don't know if he has time for that. Oh, okay. Okay, the worm though. Like a giant penis, hitting like a truck. 13 power points collected. And no more production building for the Elven player. Like, that's the remaining army, and that's gonna buy so much time now for goblins, right? Like, he has still, what, 2 goblin caves, spider pit level 2, visual level 2. Like, he has the chance to produce more units, and the elves, they don't. So the Elven player needs some time. Like, I like the offensive Malone trees, but I think you need to be a bit more focused, you know. Like, I think the Elven faction, what you are looking for is like a committed big fight, clumped fight, right? In the Goblins, they don't look for something like that. They want to actually expand and go for multitasking battles. So have like a squad in the middle, bottom, top, and moving all together at the same time, simultaneously, to deal some damage. To get more money, and you can get always more money with the scavenger. You know, the longer the game goes on, the more benefit you will get from this PowerPoint, because you get lots of money. Like, it's becoming even stronger. Like, you can't even imagine how much money you will get for killing a hero. Like, you get like 1,000 resources. Like, when you kill like Haldir level 6, I think you can get like 1,200 resources only from killing Haldir, you know? It's very, very good. 10 power points and 3 power points after the arrow volley. Arrow volley is also different because it comes instantly. There is not a delay. I mean, you know how it works in Rise of the Witch King. You see like an arrow dropping down, and then you have like 5 seconds time to move away, and then it will shoot one single time and leave a fire on the ground that deals damage. But here it's a bit different. Here it comes instantly, multiple waves of arrows, but there is no fire on the ground. It can cause damage over time. Recovering a little bit, and double barracks once again. No Mirkwoods at all. Like, the only hero he went for is Haldir. I was expecting also Glorfindel, like we have seen in the previous game from Sauron, but it's not the case. This game is definitely looking much better for the goblins than the previous one when Ahwehawe was playing the goblin faction. And because you know, a look into the minimap can give you the information. Sauron has the knowledge about this Malone tree too. He knows where the Malone tree is, and he can take it down whenever he wants. Oh, what? What happened to the arrow volley? It disappeared. Did you guys see that? He was shooting it on the spot, but then it disappeared. Weird. Level 4 has leadership, which cannot stack with the rallying call, because there is no buff here, right? Even the rallying call and war chant are classified as leadership. Like, there is not like a differential between buff and leadership, like it is, for example, in the Rise of the Witch King. Everything is a leadership here, but they have like unique names. Look, for example, here you see modifier type damage leadership, right? And also this guy has modifier type damage leadership. That means you can't stack them. But if this name would be a different name, for example, high tier leadership, then it would be able to stack with that. It's pretty basic if you, you know, figure out one single time. Malone tree, oh, that's gonna hurt. 550 command points now, and the thing is, very soon we might see a big dragon or Balrog, one or the other, you know, because he has 19 power points in the bank. He's only less than 6 power points away from this point, in which one of the mighty creatures are gonna be special summoned. Lots of macro stuff is happening. I mean, Westworld is a gigantic map, right, with like 2 big side lanes, and I think that's one of the reasons why those games are going for a long time. And normally, as you guys know, the average game duration in Rise of the Witch King, in my opinion, is like around 15 minutes, you know. But here, those 2 games actually lasted way longer. I mean, he's getting overwhelmed. I don't know what's the point of that, actually sending units like this one by one. A level 5 unit, which is gonna be pretty painful if you lose them. But what I know is that the Summon Dragon is going to be available. And boom, son! I summon the Blue Eyes White Dragon. White to burst attack. Just hitting like a truck. And you get even money for killing these buildings from the scavenger. That's crazy. Holy guacamole. Dude, I like this dragon so much, man. He's so cool. And that's it, boys. Ahwehawe's gonna call it. And Sauron is leading 2-0 now. He's only 2 wins away from getting the victory in this finals and becoming the champion. We have the blue goblin player Sauron against the red man of the west player Ahwehawe. Turkish player. Kinda down a bit today. 2-0 behind. Sauron is once again known as the best BFME 2 player. And Ahwe is very close to that, right? When there is somebody who can defeat him, it has to be Ahwehawe. 2 tunnels into the Goblin Cave. Never change a running system. That was the build order also from him in the previous game against the Alban faction. But again, on the map Westfold, it's a bit different story. Westfold is genuinely spoken a bit bigger map than Forts of Ison is. And I think smaller maps are just like in Rise of the Witch King, a bit, you know, bad for the Goblin faction. 3 farms into the barracks. And to be honest, there are few things about the Man of the West faction here which I personally like a lot. And one of those things is actually that you can buy the banner upgrade from your barracks. And I think that's very good because, you know, that's one of the downsides of the Man faction in Rise of the Witch King, that you need to build a blacksmith for that. And blacksmith, you know, it's a building you don't want to normally build, especially not early mid game. And this way you can get a banner very early for 250 only. And we will have the Soldiers of Gondor versus the Goblin Warriors. 75 and 40 command points versus 260 command points. They cost actually, you know, 50% more command points than them. And more than double the price. Farm number 4. And that is already an offensive tunnel. Very, very offensive move from the Goblin player. He doesn't want to mess around. He want to actually go inside the genes ASAP. And he will do that with a bit more Goblin Warriors very, very soon. 2 Goblin Caves. Look at the positioning though. They are always placing this not like in Rise of the Witch King with 97%. No, they are always placing that inside the you know, land, inside this basement floors around the fortress to have a bit better protection. So they don't get 25 as you can see and tell. But this way, the tunnels are gonna be in a better spot in terms of defenses. You know, it's a bit more tanky around this side. There comes the first swarm of the goblins, and Warchan is going to be used on them for 40% more damage, 50% more experience, and 10% more movement speed. So they will move even quicker, but a farm is a bit tankier than a Malon tree is. It has 2000 HP, and that's also one of the things, which I don't like, by the way. That's something I don't like, that every building has different HP stats, and a tunnel is so weak, a mineshaft is so tanky. It would even eventually make sense in terms of lore that a dwarven mineshaft is a bit tankier than a goblin tunnel, but I think in terms of balance, it's kinda a mess. If every single building has different HP, different armor set, different tankiness, I think it's kinda confusing. So it's definitely not like a beginner-friendly thing, you know what I'm saying? I think in order to learn this game, you need to invest way more time than you would have to invest in Rise of the Witch King, because the game's basics are just so easy. He's saying, where? WTF? What happened? He got crashed here. What? There's another barracks here, by the way. What happened, guys? The horse at the fortress is eating stone. There, the tunnel. What? What happened here, guys? I don't know. Invisible. I mean, the farm is gonna be found and also taken down. Like, Ahwehawe is losing lots of farms now. Come on, soldier, move it. But what happened? Like, what was Ahwehawe so surprised about? What did I miss? It's like their tunnel. Maybe he was speaking about this tunnel? I don't know. Kinda confused. Now we have a feature. And the thing is, you can recruit the cave trolls at level 1. And you can see, I believe the goblins are in a much better term here in this game versus in Rise of the Witch King, in which I believe the goblins are one of the worst factions right now in the current meta, especially in the version 8.5. But again, it's adaptive, nothing is set in stone, everything can be changed. Shanks, please give us some news about the Lord of the Rings series. I mean, I don't know, I think they wanted to release a second trailer very soon, and to be honest, I'm not that hyped about it anymore, you know? Daniel. Like, from what I've seen, it doesn't look very promising. So, I have not high expectations from it anymore, and maybe it's gonna be a disappointment. I mean, it's gonna be definitely a disappointment. Because the thing is, and I believe there's like a wrong mindset, people are gonna compare it to the Lord of the Rings trilogy, right? And you shouldn't. Like, when you do that, you will, you know, most likely get disappointed from it. Because there is nothing similar, you know, to the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Like, there is no Gandalf, there is no Aragorn, there is no Legolas, there is not this, there is not that. All the actors are gonna be replaced. I don't know. The story is important. Ahwehawe is not gonna say a word and he's gonna leave the game, and that's it. 3-0 situation for Sauron, and we're gonna jump into the potential last game. So people on YouTube or people who are creating Lord of the Rings related content on their channels, they will be happy about it, you know? But will the fandom be happy about it? That's a true question. Will the people who are gonna watch the series, are they gonna be happy? I don't think so. But maybe I'm overreacting, maybe I'm wrong. I mean, the first teaser was a bit disappointing for me, personally. Long time no see, Kola. Yeah, true, my friend. Glad to see you around. Welcome back home. Videos criticizing are always a big hit on YouTube. Yeah, true. Like, there are gonna be videos like 10 facts you didn't know about Lord of the Rings Prime. 5 major mistakes which have nothing to do with the lore, Lord of the Rings Prime. 5 reasons why you shouldn't watch Lord of the Rings on Prime. There are gonna be so many videos about that. 3 tunnels, Goblin Cave into the second Goblin Cave. Ahwehawe is following the same build order like his opponent Sauron did. Sauron in the meantime is opening with 2 farms, 3 farms, and he's gonna build an offensive barracks right on the spot. Why on the spot? It's very simple. Because it's hard to be reached and surrounded from every single side. You see, there is like a mountain here on the ground, and also the river behind. So it's hard for the goblin to commit on this area. What you can do is you can even build a statue here if you want to, and then you can keep fighting around this area all the time. First time seeing you live, I love videos, man. Thank you so much, African Light Skin, appreciate that. And also glad to see you around. Thanks for tuning in, thanks for following, thanks for putting in the effort to come all the way to the Twitch channel and following me here. Really means a lot. Thank you, thank you. I mean, I think they were happy that YouTube actually was hiding the dislike count. But you know what's funny? Common Bro enabled. You know what's funny? When the Lord of the Rings trilogy first was announced, you know, the Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring, the Two Towers, and the Return of the King, people were just the same. They were criticizing that before seeing it. They were like, this is not in the, this is a shame on the work, you know, from you know, like they were not happy. Lots of people disliking the videos, the trailers of the trilogy. Everybody was complaining about it. I mean, back in the day it was not that loud, because we are talking about a time over 20 years ago when the internet was not that popular. Not everybody has internet, not everybody had a YouTube account, not even YouTube was a real thing back in the day, but it was definitely the same. Like, people were complaining about it, criticizing the Lord of the Rings trilogy, which turned to be the best trilogy in the world. It's a Hall of Fame trilogy, right? All 3 movies are top 10 movies of the world. They won multiple Oscars. But at the first thing, they were criticizing and complaining about it. People, those true fans, you know, Tolkien fans. And here we are in 2022, more than 20 years after, and we have the exact same situation. The only difference is now it's way louder because now everybody has internet. Everybody has a YouTube account, Reddit account, you know? But it was exactly the same, dude. I'm telling you. Yeah, exactly. Like, I believe that's the thing. Like, I don't know. I know many films which had like the same problem when they were made out of a book, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't make it everything the same way like it is in the book. You can't. How can you do that? When you think about it, The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, is already a very long movie, right? And if you put everything, Tom Bombadil, this, that, into it, I mean, that's gonna be a movie 6 hours or 8 hours long. Who's gonna watch that? You know what I'm saying? So, for me, it's okay. When it's not exactly like in the book, it's okay, you know? The man player is doing a better job this game, definitely. He's scouting quite a lot. Expanding offensively is also very important to see everything. I was too young back then, can't remember that. But I'm not lying to you, it was like that, you know? And remember now, the Lord of the Rings trilogy, one of the most successful trilogy of the world. Hall of Fame. The barracks is gonna be found and taken down. There is another barracks, by the way. The thing is, he has no barracks around the fortress, but he has a steeple, level 1. Level 2 will give you the chance to recruit some of the Rohirrim warriors from Rohan, from the Riddermark. But until then, he's gonna stick up to the Gondor Knights. Oh, the game is freezing a little bit. $118 likes and 1.6 million dislikes. Oh, that's a lot of dislikes, yeah. But again, you know, I think at this point, to be honest with you, it cannot be bad. You know, like, I believe after the first teaser, after the first trailer, they already lowered the expectation from the core audience so much that whatever they come up with in the you know, following months cannot be as disappointing as the first teaser was, in my opinion. Maybe it's like a marketing strategy. Maybe they put their worst work as the first trailer to lower all the expectations because they knew and they know that Lord of the Rings fans have high expectations, and they were like, okay, we can't handle the high expectations, so we need to actually put some dirt in their eye, you know. we're gonna lower the expectations a little bit, and then they will be happy afterwards. Maybe that's the plan, who knows? Maybe they're like marketing genius, you know? Yeah, I'm gonna still watch it, right? I mean, I'm not gonna buy Amazon Prime for that because I already have Amazon Prime Video. I'm gonna definitely watch it, but definitely not with high expectations anymore. I'm not gonna be there like expecting Lord of the Rings trilogy quality, you know what I'm saying? I will be just like neutral, give it a shot. Maybe it's good, maybe it's bad. I mean, the thing what disappointed me, I didn't have this Lord of the Rings vibe, you understand? Like, I didn't have the feeling I'm watching Lord of the Rings related stuff. It was like fantastic, like Narnia, you know what I'm saying? Like Chronicles of Narnia. Like, it didn't look like Lord of the Rings to me. But again, we don't know too much about it yet. We don't know the music. I think music is also very important. Like, remember the scene when Theoden in Minas Tirith was writing it down? Like, the music in the background was essential, right? Like, this is what makes this feel amazing. Crazy Hunter for 12 months, my dude, with the primers. Thank you very much for the huge support. Really means a lot.
Resubscribed for 12 months. Ahoy, hi community.
Hi community, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Now you're really overthinking it. Again, I'm just speculating. I'm not, you know. Ahwehawe is gonna say, Ahwehawe is not gonna say a word, and he's gonna leave, and that's a 4-0 victory, ladies and gentlemen, from the young Canadian player Sauron.